What's going on, fam? This your main man, Casey for L King Self for Life Wrestling Takes. I just want to apologize right now, let y'all know I have not been able to do any videos due to what I sound like right now, and that's just me just basically just going to work and coming back home, just resting. I'm good. Like I said, I'm just, I'm believing God. I'm whole. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not finna say what the enemy want me to say, but I'm good. I wanted to come on here and give you a thorough, honest review of WrestleDream. And I know Dynamite starts in the next under 30 minutes. But I wanted to give you my honest thoughts about WrestleDream. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, I say this every time. You understand why it sometimes does take me a very long time to get y'all a review for one of Tony Khan's pay-per-views. One, look at all these matches that's on the show. Look at it. Look, count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 matches have absolutely no business being on a C-level pay-per-view known as WrestleDream. I don't give a damn. Tony Khan treats every show as if this is all in. It's not. Listen. I'm sorry, man. I know you want all these foods. The only match I probably would have tolerated on the pre-show is probably the Outrunners, because Tony Khan has been pushing them like crazy. So I do know in the future they will get a tag team title run. I don't know when, but if you had to keep one, I know all of them as random as possible. I would probably keep that one. Now, truth be told, it was not the best match on the pre-show. And I didn't watch this match because I didn't even get over to my homie's house until like after these two matches was done. I think we came in right when this match was going on. But it's too much, ladies and gentlemen. It is too much. I say this every day. Tony Khan listen, for me, I don't know how you feel about it, but for me, this may be their weakest pay-per-view this year. Yet, though it's their weakest, it still was a very good show. Now, people are going to understand what I mean when I go through what I go through. But I think overall, this is one of their weakest shows. But even with it being a weak show, again, Tony Khan, he knows what he's doing with the pay-per-views. It's just, they too long, dog. They are too freaking long. That is his biggest issue. He needs to figure out, listen, every clown that comes on your product, if they come crying to you, you do not need their tails on the show. I'm sorry. If I build up a better storyline and it makes sense for you to go on said pay-per-view, I'm going to put you on. But if it doesn't, I'm not putting you on, because no. This is the biggest issue. I'm constantly going to say this every time I review a Tony Khan pay-per-view. Triple H is scared to do more. Tony Khan is scared to do less. I say this every time, and I guess I'm going to have to keep saying it over and over again, because I'm going to be saying the same thing come Full Gear. I wish Tony... Listen, I remember the very first Full Gear, we had only 8 matches. I was like, TK, that was the perfect format. WrestleDream should have had 8 matches. Full Gear, 8 matches. World's End, 8 matches. You take your best 8 storylines. Those are the stories in the matches that are going on said pay-per-view. Guess what? You're going to get 9s out of 10s. I don't give 10s. I really don't. I don't give 10s because that's just me. If I'm giving out a 10, you got to have a top to bottom perfect show. You had to. I'm not finna chill out for a dude because, quote unquote, this is the cat that brought me back into pro wrestling. No, sir. No. I'm not doing it. I tell y'all, listen, I would be a phony if I came up here and just shielded out for this fool Tony Khan every day. No, sir. I can't do it. Listen, I got too much of myself. I can't do this. The same thing goes for Triple Big Nose over there. I can't do it. Listen, I keep it 100% for both cats. And ladies and gentlemen, you want to know why I have not done a Monday Night Raw? Raw for the last 2 weeks have been atrocious. I have not even wasted my time reviewing Raw. Listen, you would have thought with them going back to 2 hours, things would be great. Raw has been garbage. I'm done with that stuff. Listen, man, I'll get back to it. Once we get done with Crown Jewel, then I guess I'll get back to reviewing Raw. But until then, I'm not wasting the time reviewing Raw. Raw has been garbage. You would think with them going back to 2 hours, Triple H and them was going to be in his bag. No, Triple H has been bull jiving. Do not let these Triple H D-Riders shill out to you and tell you that Monday Night Raw has been great. And it's funny to say, a lot of people say SmackDown has been better. You know what? Listen, overall, maybe due to the fact that we got so many situations going on over on SmackDown land, but still, you got the main SmackDown champion going after the main Raw champion. I don't give a dang. And then you got Tiffany Stratton going after... I don't give a dang. I don't care. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a waste of time and space. It's a waste. Can we move the heck on? Who am I supposed to root for? I don't give a dang. Listen, you got 3 heels here. You got Tiffany, you got Nia Jax, you got Liv Morgan. The only babyface is Rhea, and Rhea doesn't have gold right now. So why the heck should I root for either one of those 3 to see Tiffany get cash out? It doesn't make sense. The only one who she should be trying to cash in on is Nia Jax, not no freaking Liv Morgan. Y'all can miss me with that foolish shit. And then all the other crap. Yes, Jimmy did pull up, and I find this hilarious. You would think Jimmy wouldn't want nothing to do with Jay, who won at WrestleMania. See, the way how Jay was acting would have made more sense if Jimmy went over at WrestleMania. He didn't. Jimmy is acting like nothing happened at WrestleMania. He acting like he won the match. He pulled up because Roman was like, hey, man, we back together. You know who we got to go get. So he pulls up, and Jay like, man, what you doing here, bro? Look, I'm good. I'm out. It don't make no sense to me. You would think the shoe would be on the other foot, and Jimmy won't want nothing to do with Jay. But for some strange reason, Jay completely forgot about WrestleMania, and he is moved on, and he wants to reunite with his brother. But Jay, I'm good. I got the IC title. I'm heating every second of while we on TV. I'm good. I don't need the bloodline no more. I'm straight. That's basically what's going on. And then this whole foolishness with Woods and Kofi and them. Listen, hey, look, man, I told y'all. Until the said person, whoever plays on Turn the Turns, H ain't really doing nothing for me. He ain't doing nothing. I tell y'all all the time, H can't book us to save his life. He really can't. And nobody in IWC wants to say so, but I'm just trying to tell you the bold-faced truth. And speaking of which, look at the tag team champions. Look who they still beefing with. You know, Bianca's been beefing with Damaged Goods for the last 3 years straight. I'm literally just over it. I am over it, man. I'm like, can Bianca beef with somebody else outside of Damaged Goods? And then you bring Jade into it, and you want us to get behind it. And, I didn't say nothing. But that idiotic foolishness he pulled on SmackDown, that was garbage as possible. You should have just let Shawn Michaels have the match on NXT and called it a day. If you was going to pull that idiotic... Listen, ladies and gentlemen. Look, I seen a lot of people going in, but I didn't see too many people going in like they should have. That was idiotic. I think they only had like 2 minutes. Lash Legend and Jakara Jones, or I'm getting the name mixed up, versus Bianca and Jade, and it was only like 2 minutes. Because Kevin Owens' old silly self came out there trying to pull a Kanye West from the 2000, I think it was the 2008 VMA Awards, when he had interrupted Taylor Swift. Said, hey, Taylor Swift, congratulations, you won, but Bianca should have won Artist of the Year. I got them same vibes with him doing that stupid stuff. Coming out there trying to go after doggone Cody. I'm like, man, I don't care. I genuinely don't give a dang. I'm over it. I saw that clip. I was like, once again, ladies and gentlemen, H continues to show who he is, but fools refuse to believe him. They refuse. I'm like, look, man, look, I don't have to tell you. The homeboy wrestling with racism don't have to tell you. We this is how H move. And H just, listen, when I see us on the show, I don't get excited. I really don't. I'm not the one to be sitting up here buck dancing like, oh snap, it's us. No. Now let's fast forward over to AEW land. Tony Khan could do a better job. Now listen, I'm going to be watching very carefully on this Hurt syndicated situation with Swerve, as I'm gonna go with Bobby probably debuts tonight. I'm going to be paying very close attention to how Tony Khan books this situation. And from word is, somebody had broke down everybody who is controlling everything. Will Washington has hands on this whole situation. So you know what? That's probably why things feel more genuine because you got a brother that's controlling it. So you know what? Salute to Will Washington. Salute to Will Washington because Tony Khan realized, you know what? I'm not a black man, but you know what? Let me go ahead and put a black man in control of the situation with my black wrestlers, my FBA wrestlers, and non-FBA wrestlers on the show. Let him take full control because he can more relate. I'll just put the final say-so on the situation, but I'm going to let him take full control. That's what H needs to do. H needs to get a foundational black American in the back with him. Let that person book us on WWE television and cut all of the cooning out. If R-Truth come up there saying he wants to coon, kick his behind out the door. We don't have time for that foolishness. We don't have no time for no shucking the jive. We do not. We don't have time for it. I'm sorry I went off on a rant because I was supposed to be reviewing the WrestleDream review. But I wanted to get that in there because I have not said anything about what happened in WWE land concerning SmackDown and Raw. I haven't. Raw was atrocious. I'm standing on it. And I know it was taped, but Triple H didn't give a dang. He truly didn't give a crap. Let's go ahead and break down the show. So the pre-show, I'm just gonna run through this. Ring of Honor Television Champion Brian Cage defeats Atlantis. So Atlantis was the champion, so he lost. So Brian Cage got it. Ring of Honor crap. Listen, let me show you how Tony Khan is silly as possible. He allows every other circus clown that's on Ring of Honor that has gold to be on his shows except for Miss Athena. What is up with that? That don't make no sense. TK, I'm calling you out on that bull jab, bro. You got all this foolishness that don't deserve to be on no show. Nobody's watching Ring of Honor TV, but you keep force feeding this stuff. Now, the Mark Briscoe and Jericho situation is being plastered all over television. So if it was one Ring of Honor match that was allowed, that was the only one. But still, Ring of Honor stuff should not be on AEW television. It should not. It shouldn't. Ladies and gentlemen, it should not. I'm sorry. I know TK is so fascinated with the Ring of Honor crap, but bro, you ain't look. It don't matter. It's not on TV. It's on an app that don't nobody watch. What make you think we supposed to give a dang? No. This matchup would have made a whole lot more sense if Mark Briscoe didn't have no championship. If Mark Briscoe was a full-time wrestler on Dynamite and Collision, full-time, and I'm not talking about no Ring of Honor champion, boom, that would have been like a beef matchup. You got your actual beef matchup that has no championship involved. Boom, there it is. Anna Jay and Harley Cameron. Now, ladies and gentlemen, yes, Anna Jay has improved, but from what somebody had showed on Twitter, there was a botch that happened in this matchup. You know what? Listen, it happens. Like I said, listen, I'm going to give Anna Jay the benefit of the doubt because this young lady went over to Japan. Anna Jay is really working on it because I could tell you, the baby girl wants it. She wants to be in that category with Mercedes, Athena, Chris Statlander, Serena Deeb, the Virtuoso. Who else? Who else in that category? I would say Britt, but Britt still needs a lot of work. But Anna Jay is somebody who is, I could say she's trying to improve, and she has. So from what people were saying online, and based off of this, also Harley Cameron too. Harley Cameron has been basically hanging around Saraya all day, and from what I've been watching, because every now and then I do catch Rampage, and she's heavily featured. Harley Cameron is heavily featured on Rampage. She is not looking that bad in the ring either. Now, whatever they was doing out there, I don't know. I don't know if it was a chemistry situation or whatever, but it is what it is. Anna Jay got the dub. That's all that matters. Anna Jay, I'm rooting for you. I want you to succeed. I want to see you get put into the title picture. How the heck I forget Mariah May? How the heck Willow and Mariah? How in the world Toni Storm, who, by the way, I don't really pay attention to the PWI crap, but apparently Toni Storm got the #1 female wrestler, whatever. Kudos to her, and well deserved. Like, she went, ladies and gentlemen, I'm trying to tell you right now, I've been watching Toni Storm since NXT, and all I remember, she was an Australian version of Nelly. Now, if y'all remember how Nelly used to wear the bandana. The Band-Aid, the one Band-Aid underneath his eye, she used to do the same thing. And she would have a baseball cap on and all that stuff. And so I was watching and I was looking to see what Triple H, how he booked her, and I'm gonna be 100% with you. All I saw was a decent wrestler, but I really didn't know what her character was. I really couldn't get behind it. Then she goes to the main roster, and Vince McMahon just completely embarrasses her. Fast forward, she gets this gimmick straight out of Living Color. Shout out to Kelly Clofield and them, and Keenan Ivory Wayans. That was straight. The whole gimmick with the black and white, that is straight from Living Color, ladies and gentlemen. If you think I'm tripping, type in Living Color, Kelly Clofield, black and white sketch. You will see what I'm saying. She took that, she added some stuff, and then RJ City had full control of the storyline with Mariah May and Tony. I think the movie was called It's All About Eve or whatever. A year-long feud that concluded at All In this year. And Tony took that character and she became one of the best characters / wrestlers in AEW. So that title or whatever, number one, was well deserved. Listen, I'm telling you, when she was in the E, I didn't really have no emotional attachment to Toni Storm. Fast forward to where we are right now, Toni Storm, this break that she's getting is well deserved. She's on her way back, but when she get back, she coming out for blood. You know who she going after. It's only one girl, Mariah May. The Acclaim versus Eminem collection. Now, you had Rico come out. For people who are not familiar with Rico was the dude that was with Renee and them, the European dudes that was it, whatever. He aligned himself with the Eminem collection. So this basically was a beef between Max Caster and Mace and all of them or whatever. They did their little silly man match. You would have thought the collection would have won because you want to promote them. This is like their first quote unquote pay-per-view. So you kind of, and they claim ain't doing nothing. They ain't doing nothing. Now, I know it's been a lot of stupid stuff that they've been doing. I think a couple weeks ago, they may have had one of the worst segments on Collision. I saw a clip and it was garbage. It was terrible. It was like, you would have thought Vince McMahon booked the stuff. It was terrible. But I'm like this, if you really want to promote them, don't you think they would have went over? No, the Acclaim went over. Great, we move on. Then we get the Dark Order and Premier Athletes versus the Outrunners and the Conglomeration. Once again, this is one of those, I gotta have everybody and their mama on the show. They did nothing. Their story don't mean nothing. They don't have no story because I'm the king of the random wrestling matches. That's who I am. I am the king of the random wrestling matches, and that's what Tony Khan decided to do. The Outrunners and Conglomeration beat the brakes off the Dark Order and Premier Athletes, and we move on to the main show. Now, remember, at All Out, Heyman concluded the show. He opens the show with Jay White. Ladies and gentlemen, face Jay White may be a tad bit better than heel Jay White. Now, I'm going to really ride this wave, and I'm going to see what Tony Khan does with Jay White this time around. A lot of people kind of were upset about this result. I'm kind of in the middle of it. I kind of really didn't give a damn who won this matchup. I really didn't care if it was Heyman or Jay, because both of them are heavily protected. Now, Jay just coming back, I guess he deserved the nod. But this was a pretty solid open. Like I said, I thought Jay White looked great. Heyman doing his stick, running around here with the I burned down Swerve's house. And also, too, what added to this was the fans. They were constantly saying whose house to him because obviously they was in Swerve's backyard. You know what I'm saying? So after that, we get the AEW Women's Championship. This matchup was phenomenal. Mariah May and Willow Nightingale overcooked. Now, again, Willow Nightingale really didn't deserve this matchup because she did lose to Chris. But again, Tony Khan does not have there's not a babyface on AEW that's outside of Tony who's trilling right now. She's on the bench. There's not a babyface who's built up like Willow Nightingale. Chris is a heel who just turned babyface out of nowhere, which don't make no sense. I'm like, there's nobody. So Tony Khan was like, dang, I made a terrible mistake. I've got an abundance of heels. I need some baby faces. Okay, I guess we do Willow Nightingale. And then Britt, who, quote unquote, and she technically she was sick, because she posted a video, she was sounding like this. Yeah, I a lot of people were saying that I didn't want to put Willow over, because this is how she was talking. So obviously, she wasn't feeling well, so she wasn't able to participate with the matchup they having on Dynamite. But Mariah May and Willow killed it. They killed it. This was the official actually matchup. This is great. I loved everything about this. Think about this. Willow has been killing it in the pay-per-view. She has been. Think about this. Look at it. The girl just she and then Mariah May. I listen, man. When Mariah first pulled up, I didn't know who this blonde British girl was. I didn't know who she was, but over time she got together with Kelly Clofield over there, and they made magic together. Now here she is trying to play this. Well, I'm more sillier than Toni Storm now. I'm taking the mantle, and I'm about to just run through everybody. That's basically what she's doing right now. She's basically running through everybody. But this matchup was great. I thought this was a fantastic matchup. Now, a lot of people really didn't care about this matchup because, again, just one of them, I bump into you, so boom, I get a match. This is just, once again, Tony Khan got to make sure that the Elite was on the show. And listen, if Shibata was more built up to be a credible foe against Jack Perry, I wouldn't have had a problem with this matchup. Now, was the match good? I'll tell you this was a better matchup between Jack Perry and Bryan Danielson. Bryan Danielson and Jack Perry was hot garbage. This matchup, it was decent, but I can say, overall, I thought it was better than the last. It didn't blow me away. Now, the ending, the finish to it was very smart on Jack Perry's end. Shibata was choking out Perry, but Shibata didn't pay any attention to how he had his body. He had his body, and he was laying on top of him, and my referee dude said, this fool is pinning him. So he was like, 1, 2, 3. Boom, over. Listen, man, I thought this was a brilliant finish. Look at Jack Perry. I know, say what you want about him. Like I said, Jack Perry, look, I'm always going to be a CM Punk head, don't give a dang. Now, I criticize him about getting hurt every day because it seems like every time he get in that ring, he just get hurt. But Jack Perry, listen, this heel run is decent. It ain't the best. It's not. It could be so much better, but it's not the best, okay? However, I love that finish. That finish was very clever because Shibata was choking the mess out of him, but he just like, you know what? Let me just lay back on his tail right quick. Hey, referee, go ahead and count him out. 1, 2, 3, boom, over. Now, I want to say this is when we got to, this is when MVP called out Swerve. Let me double check. Let me see. No. This matchup. So we got, okay, let's talk about it. These were the returns. So afterwards, DG came out of nowhere, and I say, perfect. Operation DG for the TNT title begins right now. It starts right now. He came out there, he addressed them, and guess what? MJF's music hit, the crowd goes nuts. He calls him out. You know how MJF's stick out here making movies with Adam Sandler and all this crazy crap. He say what he needed to say. And he came out there ready to beat the brakes off of doggone DG. And who returns after that? What's up? Mr. Adam Cole. The crowd went nuts. They went crazy. Listen, this was great. I love everybody just coming back. One, boom, 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 boom. It was fantastic. I love it. Guess what? Now we off to the races. Now, Tony Khan, it's your job to make things make sense concerning all of these cats. You got, look here, right here. If you don't want to do the singles match right here, you can do a tag team match. You could do Daniel Garcia and Adam Cole versus MJF and Jack Perry at Full Gear. Real talk. You could do it. And then the singles match, you do it at World's End. Because remember what happened at World's End. The unfortunate jacked up, who the heck was the devil. Everything just went to hell with that. I mean, I'm sorry, man. The injuries killed the entire... It killed the whole thing. It killed it. You got a tag team match that you could do at doggone Full Gear. And then at Full Gear, I would have the heels go over at Full Gear. No, I'm sorry. No. I would have... Yeah, I had the heels go over at Full Gear. Look, real talk. I would genuinely have the heels go over at Full Gear. Matter of fact, I would have Daniel Garcia get pinned by Jack Perry. Makes the most sense. This way, MJF and Adam Cole don't have to... How many times we seen them two? I mean, we seen it. But guess what? Adam Cole's going to have to get his victory back. He's going to have to. Guess what? They do it at a World's End. And you know what? If you want to do Jack Perry and Daniel Garcia at World's End for the TNT Championship, by all means, I guess, and he drops it there. I was thinking hold it off to Revolution because I was going with it. I'm gonna talk about it. I was the final scene of WrestleDream, which was, I mean, look, I love that final scene. I'm jumping ahead of myself. Forgive me. I can't wait to get to it, but like I said, this is great. I loved all of this. The crowds went nuts out there in Seattle. It was great. Now, I know it seemed like 90% of the IWC, we all seem to be on one accord with this. This was by far the match of the night. If TK did not have these two wrestle each other 2 weeks ago, I would have been extremely happy. Or a week ago. TK, you just build up to the triple threat. You make cats give a crap. You don't blow your lid. Takeshita, Ricochet, and Ospreay, they murdered. It was, I loved everything about this whole match. It was great. I'm like, TK, you didn't need to give us Ricochet and Will Ospreay early. You did not. You really didn't. You could have saved all of this. And the fact that you had that goofy, stupid ending of Takeshita coming out this, we didn't even need the matchup. We did not. We didn't. What they could have done was right before they went out there, Takeshita could have laid both of them out, and then guess what? Now we got a reason to set up the triple threat because we not get. And I know people be always talking about what Tony Khan doesn't like to dupe people. Yes, he dupes people all the time. I don't give a dang. I'm not giving away the match on free TV, but guess what? All three of these cats did a phenomenal job, and with Kyle Fletcher, Don Callis doing the deed by destroying Will Ospreay and popping him in the head with that doggone screwdriver, allowed Takeshita to get the dub. Takeshita destroyed Ricochet. He took him and did some crazy move through that doggone table. It was nuts. I say Ricochet is finished. Ricochet is out of commission for I don't know how long. He's done. And then, boom, got the dub. Takeshita finally got some gold. It's about freaking time. I've been waiting on this dude to get a championship. Now Tony Khan, book him like he matters. I'm serious. I don't want to feel like the same. Cats that hold gold feel the same. I want Takeshita to feel different. And don't blow your lid every week by having random matches. No, don't do it. Fools need to listen. If he's a heel, the baby faces need to get up on his level. He don't need to just be randomly giving every circus clown a free match. No. Why do you deserve to get a free match against me? Show me. Prove to me that you can be on my level in this ring. No, you can't. You cannot. I'm sorry. You genuinely cannot. So you can miss me with all this foolishness about running through matches every single day because that's all TK know. Get out of here with that crap. This is an excellent match. This is by far the best match on the freaking pay-per-view. This match was great. Excellent triple threat. Triple H is the king of the triple threats, and a lot of times he don't even know what he's doing concerning triple threats. Tony Khan really does triple threats. And when he decides to do a triple threat, whoever's involved in those triple threats, cats just say, look, we finna outshine every other goofy on this show. And that's exactly what all three of these fellas did. Ospreay killed it, Ricochet killed it, and the man who got the gold, listen, it was great. And the finish was fantastic. And they let everything breathe. They kept putting the camera on Don Callis. They kept putting the camera on Kyle Fletcher, the betrayal, the homeboy. I call him Ospreay Jr. because that's basically his protege. Now, if I'm TK, I'm not running through Will Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher right away. I'm not. I'm about to add layers to this. If you want Ospreay to go against Kyle Fletcher at Full Gear, build up to it. You got a reason to set it up, but don't run through it because we got to do it on Dynamite. Don't do it. Set it up. You can set that match up. As for Ricochet, if you want to do Ricochet and Takeshita, Ricochet's, if he got enough guts or whatever, his body's okay. If you want to run that back, fine. Do that at doggone WrestleDream. I'm sorry, Full Gear. Now Ricochet ain't winning. He gonna lose, but obviously, he got a legit reason because he got taken out by Takeshita. He's like, I didn't get a fair shot because I was done. I mean, I got laid out. You tried to paralyze me with that silly man move you did. So if Ricochet really want to be runner up, he possibly can. But I'm not doing it on Dynamite. I'm not doing it on Collision. And I'm dang sure ain't doing it on the freaking Rampage. I'm doing this foolishness on at Full Gear. That's what I'm doing. Will Ospreay, Kyle Fletcher, Ricochet, Takeshita. Those are 2 matches. All right. And then I told you about the tag team match. That's 3 matches for doggone Full Gear. I got 3 matches already covered. 3. Boom. Already. So we got Jerry Lynn talking about OC and all this, and Hook and all of them. And now we get ready for Prince Nana. Prince Nana calls out Swerve. And everybody in the whole place talk about whose house? Swerve's house. They go nuts. They go crazy. And so he goes out there. And I remember him being on the interview. And he said, I know I got some unfinished business. I got people calling me out. I got MVP. Me and him got history. But guess what? Under my watch, I got some issues I got to deal with my manager, Prince Nana. So the fans thought, oh, snap, is he going to turn on him? And he talked about he lost his championship under him. He got his house burnt down because of him, and he got put out of commission because of him. But that man is fine. MVP makes his arrival with Shelton Benjamin. They come out there, and they give their reasons to why Swerve should join Hurt Syndicate. And Swerve was like, I should go. I should get in. But I'm not finna betray family. So you got the wrong one. So you get your behind up out of here. So Shelton got into that man's face. So now a lot of fans were quote unquote disappointed because they wanted quote unquote Bobby Lashley to debut. We already had a beatdown segment that took place at the end. They didn't want to do the same thing twice. So you know what? Makes sense. That's why I think the debut of Bobby shows up tonight. Now, I don't know what type of capacity that he pulls up in, but the matchup is very interesting that they have it on Dynamite, and Dynamite is on right now. The matchup between Shelton Benjamin making his AEW debut in the ring against who? Leo Rush, who also had a connection with Bobby Lashley. So Bobby Lashley more than likely is debuting tonight. I'm going with it. But I thought this was great, and I think out of all Swerve's promos, I think this is the most where he felt the most comfortable. Like Swerve, listen, Swerve is a good promo, but I think one of his weaknesses is his promo. And I'm saying, listen, this is no disrespect to my FBA brethren, but I think right here, this may have been his best promo put. Like, if you look at all his promos that, and listen, Swerve hasn't really cut a bad promo. He has not. But I'm looking at, when you look at who he's talking to and who he's in the ring with, and I'm like, okay, I can see where it's like, okay, you understand what he's saying, but it's kind of like he's trying to get there. And you look here, I'm gonna talk about me. I think about myself too, as I try to give y'all these videos and try to come across as authentic. And I'm like, there's so many other people that's way better than me that do what I do, but I try my best to come on here and, like I said, just be as authentic. And I'm like, I compare myself to Swerve in that arena when it comes to talking and everything. I'm like, you know what? But right here, I think this is Swerve's best promo to date. He stood toe-to-toe with MVP. Told that man, look, I know you trying to pull me away from this dude, but this man is the major reason why I'm where I'm at right now. Yeah, everybody talk about the shucking and jiving dance he did and all that crap, but that added to me. I was the serious side while he over here doing the buck dance and everything. But I'm like, look, this dude has been my rider. I lost my group. I lost everything. But he has been riding for me, and I'm not turning my back on this dude. I am not. So you got the wrong one. So MVP and Shelton both looked at that man and said, you just made a terrible mistake. Fast forward, what the heck is finna happen? What's going on tonight on Dynamite as I speak? Because Dynamite is on right now. Yeah, I thought this was great. And it's like I said, a lot of people was upset because they wanted Bobby. Nope, we didn't get, because like I said, they would have did 2 back-to-back. It was like, no, let's not overdo it. We'll save that for TV. That means you better tune in tonight to see what the clown is going on. This matchup is, listen, this was a freaking collision match. This had no business being on this pay-per-view. None whatsoever. This is a markdown on this circus clown Tony Khan. He loved this goof. I know you want to present him as he matters. Hologram don't even talk. So I'm like, bro, how the heck are we supposed to relate to this cat? I know who Beast Mortis is because I used to watch him on Impact. Hologram just be on Collision all day, just winning. Guess what? They try to promote him like he's their version of Goldberg. And so Tony Khan had this goofy clown man match, the 2 out of 3 falls. Was the matches good? Yeah. But I didn't care because I'm not emotionally attached to it. This is Tony Khan's biggest problem. Tony Khan's biggest issue is he has to quit putting random matches on here that don't have no story attached to it. He needs to stop this. This is his biggest issue. He needs to quit with this foolishness. Bro, no. I know you get off to this. No. This was a time waster. This was a time waster, ladies and gentlemen. This was a freaking time waster. I'm serious. A time waster. Hologram wins the first match. Beast Mortis wins the second. Hologram wins the third. Yay. We move on. Didn't give a rat's behind about this. Now, a lot of people say they didn't really care about this because this was kind of thrown together. But obviously, Darby had to be on the show because he's from Seattle. So, and obviously, I didn't listen. What they said on Dynamite, I didn't know that they was this close. And Darby is the major reason why Brody King is in AEW. So, and Darby has never beaten Brody King. Darby's put Brody King over every single opportunity he got. With this opportunity, Darby said, no, sir, I'm getting my dub, and he did. They beat the snot out of each other. They tore each other up. Darby wins. Boom, we move on. There it is. Now, this match right here, there was a lot of fans that were mixed on this, and it's not the fact about based on what they did in the match. It's based off of how it concluded. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you right now, I didn't give a prediction, but I constantly kept saying I already knew the Private Party wasn't going over. I already knew it because for 5 years they have been circus clowns. They have done nothing. And Tony, that's on TK and the Young Bucks. That's on them. Now you wait 5 years later. Oh, let's start pushing the originals. No, man, get out of here with that crap. Now listen, I'm glad the Private Party got the opportunity. And listen, as things were moving on, you thought Marquand and Isaiah was getting ready to walk out with them championships. The crowd was kind of dead right here, but they kind of woke up towards the end because they kind of wanted to see Isaiah. And it was kind of like, so a lot of people was trying to compare them to the Acclaim situation. I'm like, nope, two completely different situations. The Acclaim were constantly getting over week to week, week by week, week by week. And then next thing you know, they became the hottest tag team in AEW. So Tony Khan had no choice. And guess what? It took Swerve and Keith Lee. And by the way, prayers up to Keith Lee because a lot of people are saying that man is going through. He got some kind of health issue. I wanted to turn up and end up like I'm not even finna let that mess come out of my mouth. All I'm going to say is just keep that dude in prayer. And I feel so bad because it just feels like every time Keith Lee... Look, I'm going to be 100%. If it's one black dude, one. And I think it was because he was forced. His hand was forced. If it's one black dude that Triple H absolutely did, he did give a decent run to, it was Keith Lee. He actually booked Keith Lee a tad bit better than what Tony Khan tried. So if I had to give Triple Big Nose any props concerning us, it would be concerning Keith Lee. That's the only nod. But his hands were definitely pulled because that was during a situation where there was a whole lot of unrest that was going on. So Triple H said, you know what? I'm about to give this man the North American Championship and the NXT World Heavyweight Championship. So he had two titles. And I think this is the second time somebody had both championships at the same time. And, but health issues and Tony Khan just not knowing exactly what to do concerning Keith Lee outside of that tag team run he had with Swerve. That's the only thing. That was the only decent thing he did with Keith Lee was when Swerve and Keith Lee were working together. That was the only thing because they made a fantastic tag team. Swerve and Keith Lee made a great tag team. They did. And they put over the Acclaim like it was nobody's business. Fast forward to where we are here. People just riding off of Tony Khan just riding off the fact that they caught lightning in the bottle on episode 2 when they got over and it ain't been over ever since. But this matchup and the way how they were doing everything in their power to get the dub and the way how it ended and Isaiah was in the ring crying. Marquand was trying to help him up and the fans were giving him a standing ovation. And you had a lot of people in the IWC mixed emotions. You had half of them saying they should have went over. The other half said, no, I'm in that crowd where I already knew they weren't going over. I know everybody wanted it based off of the situation that we got. And plus everybody talking about, well, the Young Bucks ain't really doing nothing with them. I'm like, well, they the heels. You know they not finna put them over. Y'all know the script. First of all, They pinned them 2 weeks ago on freaking Rampage. They pinned them on Rampage. They pinned them 2 weeks ago on Rampage. So I already knew. I said, well, there it is right there. Then they had that triple threat to determine who was going to get the Young Bucks. I'm like, you already know it's going to be Isaiah and Marquand. So you know they're not winning. So I'm like, but again, don't nobody watch the shows. And again, guess whose fault that is? That's Tony Khan's fault. That's TK's fault. He has to get people to care about Rampage and Collision, but he does not. Oh, and I'm so glad the Battle of the Belts is dead. Yes, it was a waste of money and time. Battle of the Belts was, outside of the first episode, Battle of the Belts has been a waste of time and money. Tony Khan he's never built up to any of the shows. They were the first one he did, but 2 through I think they went all the way to 10. 2 through 10 was a waste. 2 through 10 was a waste of time, ladies and gentlemen. A waste of time. I'm like, so the fact that they said that they're getting rid of it, great. Now they just got some. Obviously they got to deal with Fox. It's a Hispanic, so TK love the luchas. So AEW Mexico or something on Fox. So, listen, forgive me for the hardcore AEW heads that know what I'm talking about. Tell me in the comment section what is the name of this new talking show that's on Fox Sports 1 now. It's called AEW Mexico Fox or whatever. Congrats, they got it. Now Tony Khan, I want you to get them as if they matter. I get on TK's case and I get on H case about us not being pushed right. There's going to come a time where there will be the first Hispanic AEW World Champion. It's going to happen. TK, you need to start getting behind and making them feel like they matter. I don't want it to just be like, oh snap, okay, we got this here. This is disingenuous. That's the same thing about us. I don't want no phony fake stuff. I don't like it. I don't like this stuff. Like I said, when you start pushing somebody based off of what they look like, things need to matter. The story needs to matter. Everything surrounding whatever you're trying to do must feel genuine. I don't want you to do it just because of whatever their skin tone is. That now we're going WWE route. No, don't do that. Do not do that. When it matters, that's when you pull the trigger. It's going to happen. Will it be Roosh? Will it be a hologram? I don't know. I have no clue. But the whole and so they made a managerial trade. Lance Harper is with Lance Archer is with the Don Callis family, while Jake the Snake Roberts is controlling the LFI. We should see how that works. I don't know, but again, things are gonna have to make sense. I'll deal with that later. Things are gonna have to make sense, y'all. They're gonna have to. Cool, but and then Lance Archer's silly self gonna post up talk about he want a shot against Moxley. I'm like, bro, how many times we got to see you lose? I don't want to watch you lose. There's another problem Tony Khan got. He has a terrible time booking his big man. I don't want to see Lance Archer lose again. No. You switch over to Don Callis just so that you can lose to Moxley? No. He tweeted that foolishness. I saw that crap. I told that circus clown, look, man. No. Yeah, no, nobody trying to see this foolishness. I said, you just changed managers. Cats want to see you win. We don't want to see you lose. This circus clown already booking his loss. I'm like, again, cats have been programmed. Hey, I'm putting over this guy. And I know Moxley is the main guy right now. Again, I'll get to that situation when I get there. But it is what it is on that. Now, throughout this matchup, you had everybody and mama sitting out there. You had Top Flight was out there. Stokely Hathaway was out there. And he was laughing because Private Party turned him down. Now, again, ladies and gentlemen, Stokely Hathaway was with Chris Statlander. And Chris tried to make sense of it. I saw the clip. She tried to make sense of why she left Stokely and all this crap. No, that was just something they pulled out of their tail. Now he's trying to court Private Party, and he's sitting up there laughing at him. I don't know, like, I don't want them to go heel. Just, they got the sympathetic babyface situation going forward because they lost to the Young Bucks, and the fact that fools want them to succeed. You don't turn them heel right now. You just don't do that. They have to work their way back up to potentially winning the tag team title, which they will, because they sure did come out there towards the end. And I'm going to talk about that final scene. Now, I didn't expect this to be the second and last match. I thought this would probably kick off the show, but they said no. Jericho, Mark Briscoe, like I said, again, ROH stuff should not be on AEW TV. It shouldn't. It should purposely be set up on the Ring of Honor channel. You got to figure out, are you going to put this on TV or not? If not, I hate to say it because it's a lot of people's jobs. I hate it. I don't want nobody to lose their jobs, but I hate to say it, but Tony Khan bit off more than he could chew. You got all these other, I want you to focus on the you got a total of 8 AEW championships. We don't need the Ring of Honor crap to take spots from the AEW titles that you got. And again, this is when the split needs to happen. I told you what the AEW Dynamite would get. Dynamite would get the International Championship, the TBS title, the AEW Tag Team, and the AEW World Championship. Those would be the main 4 championships that would be spread between Dynamite and Rampage. Collision would be its own show. Collision would get the Continental, the Trios, the AEW Women's Championship, and the TNT title. Those will be the 4 championships. So the 8 holders, they will be on said show. So, excuse me, Mercedes, Dynamite. Moxley and his squad, Dynamite. Now, the Trios champions were the only ones that would be allowed to be on Dynamite because they are in Moxley's faction. They are the only ones allowed to be on Dynamite. The only ones. So they the ones they could jump between. The Trios champions would not. Now the matches, yeah, you could do it. I would prefer this is what I'm doing. I'm not having Trios matches on Dynamite, but I would set up Trios matches for Collision on Dynamite. You understand what I'm saying? And I would make things make sense. I'm like, okay, why do I want Cass to go against Shooter, Pac, and Claudio? Why? Make it make sense. That's all I'm saying. Just make it make sense. This matchup, you know what? I thought it was decent. I'm like, it is what it is. Mark Briscoe beat the brakes off of Jericho. Jericho beat the brakes off of the learning tree, the bad apple, Bryan Keith, and Big Bill or whatever. They was out there cheating their tails off, but Mark Briscoe succeeded and he retains his Ring of Honor championship. Great. Let's move on. Let's talk about it. The main event. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I was sitting up here talking about Bryan was going to defeat this cat and then Christian Cage was going to cash in. No, Tony Khan didn't do that. Tony Khan did not do that at all. He didn't. Bryan Danielson has, as of right now, Bryan Danielson. Well, actually, no way. No. Bryan Danielson is the second shortest championship holder. You want to know who's the first? Everybody forgot about it. It's CM Punk. The moment CM Punk won the championship, he got hurt. So, CM Punk is the shortest holder of the championship when it's concerning reigns. Bryan's is the second. Swerve is the third. At least Swerve had it for 4 months. Bryan only had it for 2. He got it at the end of August. He went through September. And yeah, so he pretty much only had it for like a month. Which I knew. I knew he was going to be a short reign. What transpired in this? Listen, I wish they would have had you to be the reason why he lost. Because then it would have been more effective. That ending would have been way more effective of what they decided, like how they booked it. Oh, and by the way, Bryan Danielson had full control of how he went out. So if people want to blame Tony Khan, no, blame Bryan. Because Bryan was the main cat that had full control of how this ending went. He wanted to put over his... Listen, you notice something about Bryan? Bryan absolutely believed in the Shield. He always put over Seth. You remember he put over Roman on his way out, and guess what? He just put over Moxley. Now, is Bryan finished wrestling? No, but he is done. He is done being full time. You will only see Bryan concerning like the big pay-per-view. So All In, he'll probably do All In. He'll probably do All Out, and more than likely he'll do WrestleDream, and he'll probably do the Tokyo Dome shows or whatever. But outside of that, Bryan is done. He's a family man. He's going home to be with his dad. Going home to be with his kids, his wife. I thought this was a decent matchup. They beat the snot out of each other. They tore each other up. And the crowd was hoping and praying that Bryan came through. And when he didn't, the energy was sucked out. It kind of reminded me of WrestleMania 39. Remember when everybody and their mama, not me, because I said that Roman was defeating Cody at WrestleMania 39. All the energy went out the building. All of the energy. And then Yuta comes out there, puts the bag on the man's head, and all of this crazy stuff, and everybody going nuts. And so here come the Avengers. Here come Darby. Here come OC. Here come Hook. Here come Daniel Garcia. Coming out, and then MJF came out there, and then Adam Cole chased them off. And then, you got Marina Shafir out there, Claudio causing all kinds. It's like a war going on. I'm telling you, it was literally Infinity War. Tony Khan booked that ending like he was watching Infinity War, and there was nothing they could do. There was absolutely nothing they could do. That final scene, that picture, which is going to be my front picture for this video when it gets uploaded. That final scene where and the effects of Mask Boy Excalibur crying over there just added so much, because I didn't really peep that he was crying. I didn't realize that he was crying. He added so much more. The fact that it was like everybody's favorite superhero, the American Dragon, just lost, and it's like all hope is lost. And so you got Hook, you got DG, you got OC, and you got Darby, all looking distraught. I said, now that's a cliffhanger. One thing about TK, if he wants to give you a decent cliffhanger, he's going to give you a decent cliffhanger. That was a great cliffhanger, and I said, well, let's pray that transfers from the pay-per-view to Dynamite tonight. I'm home to praying. I'm going to watch the show. I'm not watching the show until the show goes off, because I don't feel like dealing with those stupid commercials. I just pray that ending that we got translates over to Dynamite tonight. And that was it. That was the final scene. It was the four of them standing there. And I'm telling you, everybody was saying, like, now, here's the deal. Hook is eventually probably going to win the International Championship. We know DG's going to win, or Hook could win the Triple Crown. You never know. DG, we know he's going to win the TNT. OC is probably a future AEW World Champion if Tony Khan could book him right. And we know who's going to defeat Moxley. It's Darby. We know that. The question that we all want to ask ourselves, how the clown do we get there? That was a great cliffhanger. I love the ending. I love that visual. That visual was fantastic. The question that we always ask Tony Khan, how do you bring that over to your television show? How do you do it? How the heck do you do it? Because if you can get that on the TV show, you're cooking. And guess what? It's going to make Triple Big Nose step his game up. Because for so far, Raw going back to 2 hours, I hate to say it, Raw has been skippable. I hate to say this, but 3-hour Raw, the last couple of 3-hour Raws were way better than what we got these last 2 weeks. And that's me. You know I hate the 3-hour format. 2 hours for, I don't know what happened. Triple H just completely forgot. He forgot. He don't care no more. Listen, the reason why we have these two great companies going back and forth is for the competition. I criticize Triple H for being a white supremacist, but he is the clown that's controlling the E. And I got a whole lot of cats that I watch over there that I enjoy. And like I said, there's some things that's going on in the E that I absolutely enjoy. There's a lot that I don't give a dang about. However, I would never say I wanted the E to fail. Never. Because I'm leaving this planet regardless if it's by the grave or by the rapture. Yes, I am a born-again believer, and I do believe in the rapture. I do believe that Jesus Christ is coming back. For people who've been wondering and don't know, yes, I believe that the Most High is returning. I don't know when he's returning, but he is returning. And he ain't coming back talk about, do you want to get saved? He's coming back swinging. I can say, fools out here doing all this demonic, satanic crap. Listen, folks who profess to be of the kingdom, we got to step it up. We've been clowning, we've been acting a fool, and we sit up here allowing all this foolishness to go on our watch. The time is up. It's up. But regardless of that, I'm going to be a wrestling head until I get up out of here. I don't give a damn. I can sit up here and criticize both companies left and right, but I'm always going to watch it because I've been a pro wrestling head since I was a young dude. Now I'm a grown man, and I still watch it. I still enjoy it. I don't enjoy everything, regardless of what company it is. But I watch it, and I'm forever going to watch it. Look here. WrestleMania is next year. You already know I'm watching. Regardless, I've been watching WrestleMania since 21. 21 was the very first WrestleMania I've ever seen. I watched it on pay-per-view. To this day, WrestleMania 21 is my all-time favorite. Vince took his time building towards that mania. He took his time. That's when he knew what he was doing. Listen, I shouldn't be giving this circus demonic white supremacists behind credit, but he did a great job there. Triple H, they ended to 39, and what him, The Rock, and everybody they did for night 2, a little bit of night 1, WrestleMania 40 wise, I thought it was great. I thought they did a great job. Now it's time to step it up. Crown Jewel, I don't give a dang about. Crown Jewel can happen. Once it's done, I'll get back to reviewing WWE. Until then, the only reviews you're gonna get. Now I can't watch NXT because we don't have YouTube television at the moment, so I can't even review NXT. So if there's things going on in NXT land now, when it comes to the pay-per-views, we'll still be able to watch the pay-per-views because they're on Peacock. But I can't watch it because we don't have the CW, so I can't review NXT. However, I will be reviewing Dynamite more than likely. You'll probably get one tomorrow. Like I said, I'm finna get ready. Like I said, the show's on right now. I'm purposely going to try to wait. Now, screw that. I'm about to go in here and watch this crap. I hate commercials. Y'all know I hate them. So, after all of that, after I done went on this extra long, man, soliloquy, telling y'all how I thought about the pay-per-view. WrestleDream, for me, was a 7.5. 7 at best. 7 out of 10. I'm sticking with it. There were some great things that happened on there. There's some stuff that shouldn't have been. And again, Tony Khan, once again, ladies and gentlemen, kill the dead weight. And when you put stuff on your show, those matches need to have substance. If they don't have no substance, you're wasting everybody's time. I don't give a dang if these circus clowns pull up and say, hey, this is the greatest pay-per-view of all time. No, it wasn't. You sitting up just shilling. You are a shield through and through. If you sit up and say WrestleDream was the greatest pay-per-view of all time, you're on crack. I don't give a dang what you got to say. 7 out of 10. Honest review. That's my honest thoughts about the show. I'm finna go in here and watch freaking Dynamite. I'll talk to y'all cats later. You know exactly what to do. Hit the comment section up. If you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe. Make sure you hit the like button. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think if you watch the pay-per-view. Now, I'm not talking about people who just watch clips. I'm talking about people who actually went through, ordered the show, and watched it. Let me know what you thought about the entire show. If you thought the show was great or if you thought the show was weak or garbage, let me know. Hit the comment section up. I'm out the door. Holla at your boy.